As a district, our understanding and use of assessments continues to evolve. 4 years ago, we envisioned our assessment program as a pyramid with different layers of tests. Accountability tests were at the top of the pyramid because they took up the least amount of time and were the most visible to our public. Standardized tests were next because they took more time and were not as visible to the public, but still served great importance to our system. At the base of the pyramid were classroom assessments. They were the most frequent assessments, they were not necessarily visible to our public, and the information from classroom assessments formed the base of learning. At the time the pyramid was created, the middle layer, common assessments, was a goal. We had not done a great deal of work developing common assessments, so this was a work in progress. Over time, we realized that our definitions for assessments did not necessarily match our current reality. So we condensed our pyramid from 4 to 3 levels, identifying assessments based on who directed their administration. Accountability tests were directed by others, including the state. District tests were developed and directed for administration by the district. Classroom tests were tests that were developed and used by teachers and buildings for both summative and formative reasons. As we continued to learn about response to intervention, professional learning communities, and common assessments, we realized that our working definition of common assessments that Greg shared with you applied to almost all of the tests that we gave. In an attempt to provide clarity to the different types of assessments that would be developed through the PLC process, we changed the layer of district assessments to benchmark assessments. While these tests still maintain the features of common assessments, benchmark assessments provide the district with feedback on how well we are progressing toward meeting our goals for students. The following list provides you with the tests that are administered under the 3 broad categories of tests: accountability, district benchmark tests, and classroom assessments. Accountability tests include the MCA, MCA Modified, and MTOS, which are all used for AYP, and the new Multiple Measures Rating, or MMR. Grad tests are used to certify students for graduation, and the WIDA Access test, which helps us identify the progress our English learners are making towards proficiency. District benchmark assessments are tests that provide the district with information on how well we are progressing toward meeting individual student goals. The ACT and advanced placement tests are used both as benchmark assessments and serve a purpose as accountability tests as well. The Plan and Explore provide us with information on how well we are progressing toward meeting college readiness standards. Our universal screeners, the NWA and DIBELS, help us identify students who are at risk of reading and math failure. And our district benchmark assessments, presently in math and language arts, help us to determine if our students are learning the skills we view as critical to their success. Classroom assessments include the summative and formative tests that teachers and PLCs use to gauge the effectiveness of their instruction. These tests include many of the traditional assessments that have been used over time, such as chapter and unit tests, formative tests such as homework, quizzes, and projects, and summative assessments like tests, final performances, and final projects. Together, all of these assessments are used by our instructional staff to ensure that learning for all happens in our school district.